Y desde este su programa Forjando un Futuro felicitamos a todas las mujeres y hombres emprendedores que día a día se levantan con una sola meta, un propósito definido, hacer su sueño realidad. Y aunque muchas veces tienen un sinfín de obstáculos en el camino, ellos saben que son oportunidades para fortalecer el espíritu. ¿Ya probó el pan usted?
Riquísimo, delicioso, se lo hace la mano de mi hija. Y de todas acá sus compañeras.
Muy rico la preparación.
Riquísimo, riquísimo, bien suavecito, bien rico la preparación.
¿Qué pan le ha gustado más? ¿Cuál es el que ha probado?
Ahorita me estoy comiendo caramanduca.
A ver.
Este caramanduca, riquísimo. Y después el bioch, dulcecito. Mire comiendo bien.
Gracias.
Ya, mi reina.
Y la verdad, muchos de ellos no han necesitado tener dinero en el bolsillo para empezar a construir su sueño, porque han entendido que el dinero es solo un medio de intercambio. Entendieron que el poder que nos creó puso todo aquí para nosotros. No se concentran en deudas, escasez, cuentas y negatividad. Y usted se preguntará, ¿cómo puede también lograrlo? Pues los invito a ver el siguiente video.
When you're a little bit scared about stuff. The power that created us has put everything here for us, but it's up to us to deserve and to accept. That's what we need to do. You know, what we concentrate on increases. So you want to be very careful that you're not concentrating on debt and lack and bills and negativity, because that's what's going to increase it in our life. If you concentrate on bills and see them as enemies, then they're going to be enemies, and you will never, ever have enough to really take care of them. Bills are wonderful things. It means that somebody has trusted us enough to give us their service or their product, knowing that we have the ability to pay it. And if we can welcome those bills with love and rejoice, and when you write a check out to pay it or you pay a bill, absolutely rejoice that you're able to do it and know that what you're sending out is coming back to you. See, too often we think, oh, another bill, or we write the check and say, oh, there isn't enough or whatever. But start feeling a good flow with this whole thing. Self-image is very important, because self-image, feeling good about yourself, is prosperity. Prosperity begins with that. Doesn't matter how much money you have, if you don't feel good about yourself, you're never going to enjoy it. And then look at your prosperity now, because everything that you do have in your life is a reflection of what you believe you deserve, what you believe about yourself. You know, look at your home. Is this a place that you really love to live in? Is it comfortable and joyous? Or is it cramped and dirty and always messy? The same thing with your car. You know, is your car something that you really don't even like? Or is it something that reflects the love you have for yourself? And what about your clothes? You know, are they just a bother and a nuisance and something you have to wear? Or is it something you really rejoice in? Because, again, it's a reflection of you. And what about your bank account? You know, how do you feel about that? And what is the state of it? Are you friends with money, or is it an enemy? All these things are important, because what we have in our life is a reflection of ourselves. But remember, no matter where we are or whatever is happening, it's a reflection of ourselves, but it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. It's a thought about what you believe about yourself, what you believe about life, and what you believe you deserve. Now, let's take our little mirrors out for a moment. Our precious little mirrors that are so wonderful. How many people here do mirror work on a daily basis? Well, a few. How many people have never done mirror work? All right, well, you're in for an interesting experience. The reason I like mirrors so much is that they really move you through stuck places, because they reflect to you almost instantly what your beliefs are that are against you. Okay, let's look into the mirror for a moment. Look into your eyes and just say to yourself, my biggest fear about money is... just notice what comes up. What comes up? What is coming up when you do that? What sort of fears? Let's just share that for a moment. What sort of fears come? What? Yes, right here.
My biggest fear about money is that it'll either be taken away when I get it, or that somehow I just, that I won't be taken care of. And I do a lot of the mirror work, and I do a lot of prosperity work. And
who took money away from you when you were little?
Well, it was a control issue with my family, with my parents. I come from a family with money, but it was always that's where the love came from, was with money. And I come from a father who has a tremendous fear of being broke. So it was passed on, and I know that. So I'm trying to work through that.
Can you forgive him for that?
It's a tough one. I'm trying to, but it's a hard one.
Yes, but you see, your freedom with money is tied into it, not his. And he was doing the best he could coming from where he came from. And he probably was raised in a way that he was manipulated through guilt. So he manipulated you that way with money. So it's interesting that you came to this planet to learn stuff about money, and you had a lot of it. Because a lot of people need to learn their money lessons and they have nothing.
Now, this is a big lesson. It's been put in front of me time and time again, so I'm real aware of it. It's just, when I start working through it, I get physical anxiety pains, I have panic attacks, all kinds of stuff.
Have you ever gone through a period in your life where you had no money?
No, I've never... no, it has not happened to me, because when I'm pushed up against it, I work, I earn a good living, and it's always been provided. I mean, the evidence...
So you can take care of yourself.
Yeah, and the evidence that it's not going to be there, that's just my own fear, because it has always been provided. I've always been able to pay my bills and have nice clothes and live in a nice place.
So your barrier, your issue really is fear. And not trusting.
Yeah.
Who is it you're not trusting? Are you not trusting your father? Or you're not trusting yourself?
I'm not trusting myself.
And yet your track record is very good.
Yeah, only over the past, year and a half is really when I was turned loose to take care of myself, and that's, of course...
I have a feeling that you could take $5 and live a whole month very well.
I have a question.
No, I think you have enough resources, but you're a very clever, very bright person, and you would work it out. You could probably start out with no money, but I'd say $5 just to get you started.
Well,
and you could live a whole month without it. Remember, money is a means of exchange. It has no meaning in itself. We give it so much meaning. Okay, so your fear is that you won't be taken care of and it's going to be taken from you. And you see where it's coming from. All right, let's have a couple more. Yes, right here. All right. All right. She said that what came up for her that is starving, that you would starve. Okay, have you ever?
No.
Did your mother, your father, did they come from a space of that? Did they grow up in the Depression?
They did, but I don't think I'd have never... No, I mean, I would have heard of it.
All right. It's an old thing. Maybe you had. Maybe it's something that you heard very young as a child from your parents and you've picked it up. So that's wonderful, because you see, when you do something in the mirror like this and a thought comes up, the good thing to do is to write it down. And if you're doing your affirmations in front of your mirror at home, always have a pad and a pencil with you and write down whatever that negative message is. And you don't even have to deal with it right then. But later on you can sit down and maybe you'll have a list of them. And say, wow, this is what I believe. No wonder I'm not having the prosperity that I want. You see, if we don't see what our negative messages are, it's very hard to change them. And what most of us do is when we hear or feel a negative message, we try to run from it. And we have all sorts of ways of doing that. I mean, people go to the extremes of drug and alcohol abuse and things like that. But there are lots of little ways that we run from our own barrier thoughts. And if we could, instead of that, accept them and examine them and turn them around, say, no, I don't want to believe that anymore. Remember, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. That's all we're dealing with, no matter how difficult it is. Feelings are thoughts in motion in the body. That's what they are. They have no entity of themselves. So we have a thought, we get a feeling, and then we get frightened of the feeling, or we try to run from it. But if we realize it's just the thought moving through our body, and the thought can be changed. So if you look at those things and you say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to believe this. And yours just came up, but it's probably an old one there. You know, and I don't want to feel that I'm going to lose money if I get it or something like that. I don't want to feel that I'm starving. I would rather choose to believe that I'm abundantly taken care of. I'm an extremely capable person. I can always create for myself. And I am always safe in the universe. Everything is supplied for me.